very good morning to you. This is Morning Cafe. I'm yours truly, Stanley Nyerugita. Right here at Morning Cafe on a Monday, we're discussing matters first aid, giving you first aid tips at around 9 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. And this particular morning, we're graced by St. John Ambulance. Julia Munyewe, karibu sana.
Thank you.
You can definitely tell us who you are before you tell us what. Naona kuna blanketi hapa chini, sijui kama tutakuwa tunalala.
Okay.
The couple of equipments here. What are we learning today?
Okay. Today we're going to learn about diabetic emergencies, what diabetes is. And then also we're going to look at spinal injuries.
Okay.
What basically spinal injuries are. We've seen what's been happening, whereby we have building collapsing. We get road traffic accidents. So such things, especially when there is trauma, it can lead also now to spinal injuries. So I think as we proceed on, then we will be able to share more and give more insight on what those conditions are and how best to be able to assist when a person is having such injuries, especially caused by trauma.
Right.
Yes.
Fantastic. We can start with the diabetes, just helping us understand.
Okay.
Even for someone who's watching this, they have a family member, a close friend who maybe in the workspace, for example,
yes.
or at home, someone who has diabetes. Explain to us, even for your point of view as a first aid trainer and all that.
Okay.
For someone who has diabetes,
Yes.
at what point do they really need first aid?
Okay. I even forgot to introduce myself. Anthony Gilo, my name's first aid trainer and also an emergency medical technician. Simply we say that diabetes is a severe imbalance between the amount of sugar and the amount of insulin in the body. So one is on the flip side of the other. It's either the sugar is too high or the sugar is too low. The organ that produces insulin in the body, we call it the pancreas. So you find that the pancreas is malfunctioning. Right now, when you carry on with your activities, daily activities, you find that you're normal from morning to evening, all year round, without falling sick. It is something that you need to thank God for, the ones that believe in God. So you find now for these persons that are having diabetes, the pancreas is malfunctioning, if I may put it that way in the simplest way. So it produces insulin, which now is able to regulate the amount of sugar and the insulin level in the body for normal functioning.
Okay.
So if it is malfunctioning, you find that it may produce too much insulin,
right,
meaning that the sugar level is going to drop. So this person is going to have hypoglycemia. If it produces very little insulin, the sugar level is going to rise. So meaning that this person is going to get hyperglycemia or high blood sugar. Okay. We usually say that it is better for the sugar level to be high than for it to be low. Okay. I will break it down. Now, for someone who's having hypoglycemia, the sugar level has gone low. Okay. Hypo means low. You may notice that your casualty, probably they may have skipped taking a meal. They were doing exercises, then the sugar level drops. Okay. If it usually drops very fast, it drops rapidly. This person may have aggressiveness, probably for the people that usually are in the workplace. From the people that you interact with, you may find that a person is very aggressive in the morning. When they're coming in, they tell you, why is this not done? Why are the reports not here? And things like that. But when this person gets that nice cup of tea with sugar, this person becomes a very, very happiest person. Tells you, oh, by the way, how are you doing? It seems like if we've not made a chat for quite a long while. So once you see such,
utaanza
kuwatembelea. Yes.
Na kikombe ya chai, you're relaxed.
Also, I can equate it that to when children, most of the people are parents. You find that your child, the time that it gets for them to get their meals, they become grumpy. When you exceed the timing for them to eat their food, they now become angry. Okay, they tell you, Mom, I want food. They even start crying, oh, Dad, I want food. But the moment they eat food, they become the happiest. So you can relate it to such a person.
Okay.
This person also may be having confusion, they may be having muscle tremors and such like things.
Right.
You may find that these persons, for you to be able to note them, because you may find that this person probably has collapsed. When we usually do something that we call a top-to-toe physical examination, in the subsequent episodes, probably people may have seen what's done. So as you're doing physical examination, you come to check in the pockets. You may find that this person is having sweets on them. They could be having sugar. They could be having chocolate, biscuits, cakes, you name it. So once you see them having sweets or sugar, do not simply say that this person seems like if they like taking sugar or sweets.
Yeah, there are sweet tooth.
Yes, exactly. This person may be having low blood sugar. So when this person feels hungry, they must eat or they must increase that sugar level for them now to be able to function normally. There's a time the Ministry of Health, through the government and the public hospitals, they put posters in the medical facilities. And they say that when you see that you're always having frequent urination, frequent thirst, you need to go to hospital to be checked, because they're saying that it could be sugar in your body that is actually deteriorating or even increasing.
Okay.
So you need to go to get a blood sugar test.
Right.
So these persons who are having low blood sugar, our first aid is simply to increase the sugar level. So we usually say that you give them sugary drink. Probably you may, for the people that are watching, you may have come across someone who comes into your office and says that I need tea with a lot of sugar. Please do not ask them how many spoons of sugar, 2 spoons or 5 spoons. It is better you put even half a cup of sugar to tea. Mix it up, let this person drink it, so that you may be able to increase the sugar level. As this person now begins to feel better.
So what if this person is, they don't have any, let's say, sweet pills on them, they don't have any sugary stuff with them, and they've probably, let's say, collapsed. You may know, for example, that they're probably diabetic.
Level, sugar problem.
A low sugar level.
Yes.
So what's the limit when it comes to the amount of sugar that you're giving them?
There is no limit. We usually say that you just give them sugar. If this person has collapsed, the first aid remedy that we usually say is that you take sugar, put it in their mouth, and then rub it on the cheek so that it is dissolved.
So is it the sugar crystals?
Yes,
or
just the normal sugar.
Okay.
Yes. So just put it, or even sugar gels. Put it, rub it. If it is not possible to put it on the cheek, you can place it under the tongue. Then it begins to dissolve. It will help this person now who's having low blood sugar to be able to feel better. When I was young, the street that we grew up in, it was during the holidays we were playing. So this person just gets into the driveway, opens the gate, and then rushes inside the house. Goes straight to the kitchen. My mom is in the house, and then asked him, what is happening? Me and my brothers, we rushed there, we followed him. So we find this person going through the utensils, looking for a sugar dish. He found the sugar. So what he was doing, he was simply putting the sugar in his hand and throwing it in the mouth. This person was actually even having muscle tremors. So my mom is asking him, are you okay? Should he call for you an ambulance? That time it was those days whereby we had the phones. I think, is it the first generation or the second one? Whereby when you're making a dial, you have to dial the core phone round and then it goes back.
That's old.
Yes, the old ones. So when this person took the sugar, he started feeling some relief.
Okay.
So low blood sugar, that is how we handle it.
So
now,
you've mentioned the muscle tremors. What else will someone look out for the loved one, so let's say their colleague, apart from let's say the muscle
tremors?
Yeah.
We usually say that those clues, the external clues, the sugar, the sweets, the biscuits, are clues for you. Also, this person may be having a medical alert bracelet, written diabetic alert, diabetic patient. So those are some of the things that you may be able to watch out for. This casualty also may be having confusion. They may be having fast breathing. So those are things that may be able to guide you for low blood sugar.
Right.
Now the other one is high blood sugar. High blood sugar, simply we say that it is when now the insulin level is too low, meaning that now the sugar level is going to rise. So this person is going to get hyperglycemia, or high blood sugar. The Ministry of Health, when they put those posters, they say that it takes hours or days to be able to develop. So we find that it is preceded by the frequent thirst, frequent urination. So those are some of the things that a person may need to look out for. The other things that may help you know that this person is having now the high blood sugar, this person is going to have a fruity odor to the breath. Yani ananukia sukari, ananukia matunda, or ile harufu ya acetone, the nail polish remover. So once you see that, then it will tell you that this person's sugar level is actually rising.
So I'm curious, let's say this person collapsed and we're in a surrounding where there's no sugar or any kind of sugar products around us. And they're probably having one of those external things that you're telling us. The muscle tremors, they're probably shaking. Some probably have some blood evasion and all that. What do you do in case there's no sugar products around you?
Is there Fanta around?
Kama hakuna?
Fanta, yes, Fanta will be able to help. So if kama hakuna, we say that this person, you need to take them to a medical facility. And when you're talking about Fanta, Fanta is okay, you can be able to give it, but avoid diet drinks. Yes, they do not have the adequate sugar to be able to elevate the sugar levels of the casualty. But now for a person who's having high blood sugar, the person needs to go to hospital so that they may be able to get insulin. It's either insulin tablets or insulin shots. That is the only way that we can be able to handle a hyperglycemia. But hyperglycemia is much better. It is better for casualties' sugar level to be higher than lower. Low blood sugar kills much faster than high blood sugar. Yes.
There are a number of diabetic patients who have
insulin shots.
Yes, insulin shots. Tell us about that. Is it part of the first aid?
Now that one I can call it I can simply say it's the medical aid, because this person knows that they have the condition. So now they usually have on them insulin on them. So that one is also another clue that you may be able to see it on them. It's usually an insulin pen. It has an injection, just like the normal pen. So it has an injection tip on top of it. So you can be able to inject it on the muscles. It's either on the arms, on the thighs, or even they usually inject it on their abdomen. So they know how to be able to administer to it. But if you do not find it, we simply say that this person has to go to hospital, or else the person may get into a diabetic coma.
So what if it is there? This person has collapsed, so there isn't a proper communication between you and this person. But then you can see it, probably it is there. You have knowledge that this is an insulin shot. And you're not really trained as a first aider. Are you allowed to probably do all that?
A person who's not trained, we simply say that let them not risk. It is better and safer for this person to go to a medical facility. Yes. Just to be able to keep them safe. But what you can simply do is to place this person in the recovery position. Recovery position is simply sleeping on your side, so that now the tongue is open, and then now you call for an ambulance. Then now from there, we are going to handle it from there.
So that's really on matters diabetes. Back at home, wherever you're watching us from, you probably have you're a diabetic. You probably have someone who, your close friend, a colleague, or a loved one who is diabetic, and you're wondering, so when it comes to first aid, what do I do? What do I need to do? You can call in live, and Regina will be giving you all the tips that you really need to know when it comes to all this kind of a conversation. The number to call in live, 0795 045 864, is the number to call us live, and Jilo atakuwa na kujibu on the same. So that's really on matters diabetes. Anything that you can add before we cross over to now matters spinal cord?
Maybe people usually get to see, especially the expectant women, they usually get what we call gestational diabetes. But it is usually for that period of time that this person is expectant. But the goodness is, these persons, when they usually go to hospital, the expectant mothers, when they're going to hospital, they usually have the blood sugar checked. So at least that one one is able to monitor. I usually also say that as your age also, as you're aging, it is good also to go to have a blood sugar check, so that you may be able to know if you are okay, your organs are fit, you can be able to do the exercises, so that now at least you can be able to take care of yourself. Diabetes is simply a lifestyle condition. Doctors say that, they were saying actually that by the year 2025, about 3 million people in the world are going to have diabetes.
Wow.
But you know, as Africans, as Kenyans, we usually say, riswa, shindwe, tunakata, tunakemea. So people usually say that. But what you need to know is that you need to take care of yourself. They say that if you undereat, you're going to get low blood sugar. And if you overeat, you're going to get high blood sugar. So the secret is keeping healthy, doing exercises, eating the healthy foods. Easy ordering food online and things like that. You need not to be doing it frequently. Do exercises, cook food, eat yams, eat sweet potatoes. And that is why you find that our grandfathers and grandmothers used to live longer. Yes.
True. Preach that gospel. So even as we now cross over to spinal cord on the same, allow me to now, call in. I'm actually being told you have a caller, although kutoka Mombasa. Yes, hello TV47, nazungumza na nani? Hello TV47? Yes, niaje David?
Papoa.
Uko na swali, uko na maoni kuhusiana na maneno yetu ya first aid hapa. Tumeanza kuongelelea vitu za diabetes.
Niko na swali kwa sababu ni ama victim.
Victim, okay, yes.
Yes, nilienda nikapimwa nikapatikana. Mine was 19.6.
Okay.
Na nikapewa madawa. Nikameza for 15 days.
All right.
But imekwamilia between 10 na 14.
All right.
Yeah. So, is it possible it will come back to 4 to 5? The normal rate.
Naam, swali zuri. Nafikiri wakati ulipoenda hospitalini ulielezewa kuwa wafaa kunywa madawa yako na pia kuna vile vyakula wafaa kula. What the government has done, especially for when they're having those diabetic clinics, when you go to be checked, you find that also there's a nutritionist. Yule nutritionist anakuelezea that mgonjwa wenu tafadhali ale hivi vyakula, hizi mboga za kienyeji and things like that. So it is good also to be able to follow that diet, na pia zaidi ya hiyo unywe madawa wakati ufaao. Kama umeambiwa that madawa wafaa kunywa after 8 hours, ni kuhakikisha umefuatilia. Lile jambo lingine wagonjwa wanaelezewa, especially wale ambao sukari imeshuka. Wanaambiwa that mgonjwa wako ikifika wakati yuahisi njaa, yafaa kula. So you need to follow the strict diet, you need to follow the right timing of medication, and also you need to take the adequate foods, plus also the other thing that people usually avoid, doing exercises. Tukiwa tunasema ni kufanya exercises, hata pia kupanda zile stairs. It is a form of exercise. Okay. So gradually, eventually your body is going to respond. Lakini zaidi hiyo pia tutakuombea uweze kupata nafuu.
David, sijui kama umepata jibu?
Nimepata jibu.
Asante sana. Asante sana kwa kutupigia. Salimia sana watu wa Mombasa. 0795045864 is the number to call us live, and just throw in all those questions as we discuss matters first aid ya diabetes, as well as sasa tukiingia maswala ya spinal cord. And so nilikuwa nasema because hapa kwa set tuko na blanketi and a couple of gauges and gloves pale mwisho, and we'll be getting to understand mbona Jilo ametokea blanketi hapa leo. Sijui kama masaa ya kuendelea kulala, but then you can now utasanite awadami akuje atusaidie na hii maneno yote. So even as he comes, karibu sana. You can probably stand there and just, so Jilo, what do we need to know when it comes to now spinal cord injuries? What leads to spinal cord injuries?
Okay, good. Now, spinal cord injuries, mostly they are caused by trauma. When I'm talking about trauma, it could be from across the board. Either this person has fallen from a horse or even a motorbike, or this person fell from a height. We usually say that even a height of 1 meter, when you jump, you're most likely even going to get a spinal injury. And even you could get fractures. Bone fragments could be able to fracture and also land and compress on the brain, okay? The other things that also may cause spinal injury, when something falls on your back, kwa mgongo wako, so it falls across it, then this person may get a spinal injury. Ejection from a vehicle, from a motor vehicle accident. That is why it's usually important when you're traveling in a car, make sure that you belt up, you sit up, you belt up. Avoid keeping children in the front seat.
Right. Jilo, kindly hold on there.
Yes.
But a call all the way to Kisumu.
No.
Yes, hello, kutoka Kisumu.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, tunakupata vizuri. I hope umezima TV ama umemute. You can tell us your name and upaze sauti kidogo and then you talk to us.
Yes, nimerudisha volume.
Yes, ongea na sisi.
Nauliza. Wanaongea kuhusu diabetes. Hiyo sugar level. Na mimi kama nakunywa chai, hiyo sugar huwa natumianga kidogo. Yani like hiyo test.
Okay.
Test ya sugar ni BAMBA toto. Sasa inabidi ni reduce hiyo sugar.
Sugar, okay, yeah.
Sasa sijui na hiyo sugar level za nafaa kwenda kucheck.
Okay, so
you can go to be checked. Weza enda hata pia kwa chemist yenye ambayo iko karibu, kama uko na hivyo vifaa vya kupima sukari, unaweza ingia pale ama hospitalini. Just go to be checked. You can the only way that you can be able to know that your sugar level is okay is scientifically. So by going to medical facility, vile vifaa vya kupima sukari, then wanakupima, wanaona kama uko sawa.
Right.
The range should be between 3.5 to about 7. That one is supposed to be the normal range. So the only way is to visit a medical facility.
Right.
Naam.
So asante, okay. You have a follow-up question? Yeah?
So about the test, sio shida.
Sijakupata vizuri, rudia swali.
About the test, hiyo unajua kama nakunywa chai inabidi ni reduce hiyo sugar level juu ya test. Hiyo test haingii poa.
We kunywa chai yako, ukimaliza nenda ukapime. Haitaleta tofauti yote. Kwa hivyo kunywa chai yako, ukimaliza pata chenye ambacho unakula na hiyo chai, alafu nenda hospitalini ukapime ama kwa hiyo chemist. Naam.
Sawa.
Thank you very much for calling us. 0795-045-864 is the number to call us live. When you call us live, have your TV mute, have your device mute, ama have it off, and then tell us your name, where you're calling us from, and then ongea na sauti vizuri tukupate as we discuss matters. First off, we were discussing diabetes and the first aid when it comes to diabetes. I'm pretty sure the kind of callers that you'll be getting are really focused on diabetes. But then even we are now focusing on spinal cord and the injuries. Ulkushanza kutuambia what will really lead to all that.
Yes.
So, and because we have someone to help us understand practically, juu tumeongea sana.
Yes.
Wacha tufanye ka practical kidogo.
Okay.
Ni namna gani?
Okay.
Yeah. So now because he's here,
yes,
and we can probably use his akitupa ruhusa. Tutumie mgongo wake.
Yes.
Ama ni mgongo yake. Just to understand, because I mean, from the back there is from upper juu all the way to the bottom. So is there a specific part of the back that is more susceptible for the injuries? Ile ukiumizwa hapa nyuma, acha nitumie yake.
Yes.
So let's say upper,
yes,
it won't be, haitakuwa na effect as much as here or maybe at the very bottom.
Okay, so we usually say that mechanism of injury, just like what you're saying, the causes that could trigger it: falling from a height, ejection from a vehicle, avoiding keeping children in the front seat, making sure that you use the right car seat. Also, when there's an accident, a person dies in the same compartment, that is also something that you may need to suspect that this person may have a spinal injury. Before he lies down, there's an example that I want to share. There's a time my friends, colleagues, they had responded to an incident some years back, over 10 years ago, at the Marikiti area, Pale Mdurwa. So they told there's someone who's having a problem. He's unable to stand, to rise, or things like that. Those guys that usually carry the heavy luggages. So when this person was put the luggage on their back, he ended up staying like this. He cannot go back up and he cannot go down.
Yeah.
Because the vertebrae had slightly moved. So also such things could cause it, okay? Now, my brother can be able to lie down. So this person, when they're having a spinal injury, you can be able to notice them by loss of sensation. This casualty may be telling you that they're having pain in the back. The loss of sensation, it's either to the lower part of the body. Okay. So this person even may tell you that they're feeling that the spinal cord anajisikia amegawanyika mara mbili.
Wow.
So when a person tells you that, then suspect spinal injury. Also bruising on their back, okay?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is the pain at that time?
That pain is severe. It's extremely severe.
It's past even a 10?
Yes. If this person who's having spinal injury, even some of them may lose control of their bowel and their bladder. Wow. That tells you that that pain is great, is severe.
So for example, for our guy here,
yes,
is he able to let's say he's on a past 10?
Yes.
Juu nitakuwa assistant wako daktari leo.
Yes.
Nione kama nakumbuka venye nilifunzwa kuvaa gloves.
Yes, so you can show me. So now this is what you usually do. So your pairs of gloves, you will stretch it out, insert in your thumb. Insert in your thumb. So it has places, iko na nafasi ya vidole zote. As you can be able to see, every place has its own space. Your finger has its own space. So you stretch it out, insert in your thumb.
From inside?
From inside, yes. Okay. From inside, insert in your thumb.
So ni hivi?
Yes. No, on the inside. So now like this, okay? So you stretch it out like this, okay? And then after you've pulled it out, you insert in your thumb. From the inside, hiyo nafasi ya kidole ya gumba, hapa. Kidole yako inaingia hapa, yes.
Okay.
Ingiza tu kabisa. Alafu,
okay.
Yes. And then afterwards, now still stretching it out, you insert in the other fingers inside like that. So it's supposed to be quick as that.
Okay. I think after a couple of trials, Nita,
you'll have perfected it. So you still stretch it out like that, and then you still insert in the other fingers and the other fingers to be able to follow, okay? Yes,
good.
Perfect. You have done great. So usually say that when you're putting on gloves, avoid having long nails because it's going to tear it up. Okay. Avoid having protruding objects on the rings. Okay. A flat ring, a wedding ring is fine. You can be able to put it on so that you avoid getting contamination. If you have a wristwatch, you can use the glove just to cover the wristwatch on it on top. Okay. If the casualty is having severe bleeding, you're having many casualties, you say that you can put several pairs of gloves on the inside, okay? Now, your question, where is more susceptible? Yeah. This area of the casualty, because we have the rib cage, we have the pelvic bone, we find that it may be slightly firmer, but mechanism of injury will determine the extent of the injury. From the C-spine here, towards the neck, it's usually more susceptible, especially if you're traveling in a vehicle, then sudden deceleration, it may make this person to have a spinal injury. Right. And if there is an injury to the C2, that is the cervical number 2, this casualty also breathing may be affected, meaning that the breathing may cease. So for whichever part of the spinal injury, the casualty is still at risk. Now, the normal way that we usually open the airway is we usually say that we place 2 fingers on the chin and then we tilt that way, okay? So that one is the normal way that we open the airway. We call it a head tilt chin lift maneuver. Right. Kindly do it. Kindly do it. I want you to try it. So 2 fingers on the chin.
And then
you open the airway like that. So that one is the normal way that you open the airway. Right. But now, when a person is having suspected spinal injury, we use what we call now the jaw thrust method. The jaw thrust method is this. Let me show you. And then afterwards, I would want you also to give it a try, okay? So you come over to the edge of the casualty and then ensure that your elbows are lying down. Support the jaw. You hold the jaw like that, okay? And then also your fingers to be in position like that. Then ensure that the nose is in straight line with the navel. Pua yani iwe in the same line na kitovu, okay? Then now from there, you will tilt open like this. So this is what we call the jaw thrust method, okay? I want you to give it a try.
Even as they do it, what's the whole purpose of doing all this?
So this one is to be able to stabilize the airway and to stabilize the spinal cord so that it ensures that it does not affect it. So I want your elbow to be down on the ground, okay?
Yeah.
Then afterwards, hold up your fingers to be on the jaw.
Okay.
So keep your fingers, yes, give spaces there so that people may be able to see. Then tilt it open. Tilt it open like that, okay?
Right.
So you will hold it in place like that, okay? Now, we usually say that if you have called for help, you've shouted, help, someone help, you're tired, you're not supposed to leave that area until an ambulance comes.
Wow.
So if you get someone else to be able to assist you, this is what we'll do. I want you to, just hold the casualty. So begin to move on the side, just move. You just move your body so that I may be able to come in and assist you. Keep moving. So the other rescuer, what they will do, they'll come put their hands like that, insert their fingers in between your fingers, okay? Then you will give a count up to 3, and then you remove your hands as I support the casualty, okay?
So 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you move the casualty like that, and they keep holding on the casualty there, okay? So I will move there. Once I get tired, then also you're supposed now to take over the casualty. So I want you to take over again. Take over. So your other hand in between my fingers, inside the elbow. Yes, pass it here. Like that, on top, your fingers. So at the count of 3, I will move my hands. 1, 2, 3. Then you hold it there, okay? So now this casualty will stay this way. If the casualty becomes unconscious, we are supposed now to do what we call the log roll technique, because this casualty now needs specialist assistance. People usually make a mistake whereby once they find a person has had a road traffic accident, they quickly carry the casualty and move them from there, so meaning that they may interfere. Even if the vertebrae are slightly moved, they go and severe it. This casualty is supposed to be supported this way until an ambulance comes. If the casualty has become unconscious, we will need several rescuers, at least 2 or 3, okay? Can I get someone to come and volunteer from the studio? Yes. Kindly come, sir. Tafadhali, you just keep on holding. Just keep on holding. Yes, kindly come. Yes, someone to come. Yes, so you find that when you call for help, you get volunteers coming. You find that the public is there. They would come to assist. Yes, I want you to kneel there, okay? So what I will do, if this person has become unconscious, I place the casualty in the recovery position like that, one hand on the other side. Then I turn this casualty here. Then I want you to hold the hand together. Hold it up together, okay? Now this is what I want you to do. I want you to hold here, okay? And also the leg. Then I will hold here and also here, okay? So at your count, you'll count for us, and then now we turn over the casualty. This is what we call the log roll technique. Okay. So count for us, and then now we turn over the casualty to a side. So count.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, slowly. So we move with you there, okay? Then afterwards now I can adjust this leg, and then I put cushions on this side and also cushions there. And then you, my brother, now will have to support the head that way until now the ambulance comes.
Wow.
So it's usually a lot of work, okay? Casualty, thank you. Unaweza kupona. So if we do this and we keep this casualty still, then it will give this casualty a chance for them to be able now to survive, and we will not be able to aggravate the spinal cord. Because the mistake that usually come, Kenyans, we are so willing to assist, but we end up assisting in the wrong way. So this casualty needs to wait for an ambulance to come. We come with a cervical collar, we put it on them. Here in Nairobi, we usually take them to spinal injury hospital, or even now the other medical facilities, the big ones, they have the capacity to be able to handle such casualties. Yes.
Right. So 2 quick ones. First of all, we found him lying here.
Yes.
And then we started treating him. But then you told us he might have fallen.
Yes.
So as people who are gathering there, how can we know that it is a spinal cord injury?
Yes.
Are we going to be seeing a swelling on the back, how his position is?
Okay.
And for example, let's say he's collapsed, so you can't have a direct communication with him.
Yes.
How do you know it is a spinal cord injury?
Yes, and especially now that the person may be unconscious.
Yes, okay. And plus, I mean, you can't really tell if he has a swelling because he might be, I mean, having this whole hoodie, you can't tell if there's a swelling.
They have the swelling.
Yes,
okay.
And then later on, you can also tell us, during all this first aid process, you don't really have what you're talking about.
Yes.
The pillows and all that. What kind of materials can you gather easily? That
to be able to put there to support the casualty.
Yeah.
So the materials that we can have is people can volunteer their jackets, they can volunteer their sweaters, just to be able to build up padding to be able to support the casualty. And this casualty, we need to do a top-to-toe physical examination.
Okay.
Maybe I can show you quickly what you can be able to do,
please,
because it's been shown in the previous programs.
Yes,
so my casualty, kindly go back, okay? So this casualty, the top-to-toe survey, how we do it, okay? So we check for injuries on the head, okay? Including now feeling the back of the neck, okay? For the back of the neck, we'll be trying to feel for swelling on the vertebrae. You find that there's a swelling on the vertebrae, suspect spinal injury. So after checking the neck, you come over, you check the hands, because you want to confirm if this casualty is having any other traumas. Then you check also the other hand, because this casualty may even be having fractures, okay? Then now from there, I feel the thoracic area. Then I check the abdomen, I feel the quarter, the other quarter, and the last quarter. Then now from there, I check the back area, okay? So this is how we check the back area. My hand will go through the other side, then the other hand closer to the head, I will slide it down underneath, okay? Then I try to feel the vertebrae. I run my fingers along the vertebrae, okay? If this casualty has injuries, they will show the pain sensation by either blinking, okay? That one will tell you that this casualty is having an injury. Right. This is what I mean. The fingers, once they meet at the center, you run them along the vertebrae, trying to feel if there's swelling. So find swelling, suspect spinal injury, okay? Then
what if there's no swelling?
If there's no swelling, then it's safe. It means that this casualty is okay. But still, you still have to continue to check the whole of it. Now, for this area, for the sacrum and the coccyx, where the pelvic bone is, okay, this is how we usually check the pelvic bone area. So you press downwards and then on the inside. So you press down, then inwards, okay? Then from here, you'll be looking at the facial expression of the casualty. This casualty expresses pain by blinking, then suspect spinal injury. The other thing that also will tell you that this casualty may be having spinal injury, you may find that this casualty has what we call priapism. Priapism is this area. Firmness. So once, wacha tuongee mafumbo kidogo. So firmness, ukiona hiyo, then that one may tell you that this person is having a spinal injury.
Oh, for real?
For a man.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
And for a lady?
For ladies, you may be able to see that the nipples, they are firm. So that one may tell you. So do not say that I think the person sees that I'm looking good. Okay, so of course, maybe you may be looking good, but this casualty may actually be sick. Then now we check the other leg, then we continue checking the other leg. So the moment I realize that this casualty has exhibited pain, then now that one, it means that we need now to support the head immediately. Okay. Now,
and before now we get into the materials that you gather around.
Yes.
Are there chances where even after taking a look at, let's say, the swelling, having a whole body look, are there instances where you get into the hospital and apparently there was a spinal cord injury, but it wasn't detected even after taking a look at the body? For the paramedics training, the emergency medical technicians training, we usually say that once you see the things I mentioned about, falling from a height, ejection from a vehicle, trauma basically to the head,
that one is at cause to tell you that take precaution, this casualty may be having spinal injury.
Okay.
It is better we put a collar on the casualty than not putting it on. Then
just in case.
Yes, just to be able to ensure that it is safe. When this casualty goes to hospital, tests are done, the scans and everything, that now we will be able to give this casualty either a clean bill of health or now this casualty may now need more observation. So usually say it is better for this person to have a collar on and to ensure their safety than not to have it.
All right.
Yes, because there are those cases, of course they may not be mentioned, but you find that this casualty probably they were carried in the wrong way, but now when they go to hospital, they actually realize that this person's spinal cord has been severed or aggravated. So it is just better to be able to take precautions. Okay. That's why we say that in a road traffic accident, do not rush to remove people from the vehicles. Let us come in unless there is danger. Probably this vehicle is going to catch a fire or things like that. Yes.
All right, fantastic. Now the fact that
have the pillow. Yes. Yeah. So please open the airway using the jaw thrust method.
Jaw thrust ilikuwa ile
yes. Like that.
Oh yeah.
So, yes. So your hands to be on the cheek completely. Okay. Then now from here I will open the airway. I will request help. My tafadhali saidia. Yes, yes, asante. Kuja unisaidia hapa. So I've called for help. Someone is coming. Yes, asante. Hapa tuko na mgonjwa. I want us to be able to assist them. I want you to hold here, okay? Alafu shikilia hapo, and then afterwards, I want you to hold the hand there. Then I will hold here. So at your count, please.
1, 2, 3.
So move the casualty, okay? Then I will put the padding here, okay? To be able to support the leg, and then I take more padding, I put it here on the casualty, just to be able to ensure that this person does not move.
Right.
If I have an extra one, then we can be able to slip it.
Also, we can have another pillow?
Tafadhali saidia na pillow nyingine, asante. Kenyans are usually willing to help, so once they, so we ensure that it has to be in the same level. There, like that.
So now for this one, because I've realized that the chances of me moving the head, and this might affect the spinal cord. How do you go about that?
This hand is to give you support so that you do not get tired. So your hand should be there.
So my question is,
just maintain it. Yes.
When moving the head, when placing the pillow, how do you ensure that you don't tilt the head? That will affect the spinal cord, so that you have something below it.
Yes, it has to be the same level from the way you've put the hand.
Okay.
Yes. So this one is just to be able to show you the support that is supposed to be there.
So as I was holding the head, it shouldn't move at any.
Yes, it shouldn't move. It shouldn't move. The other person's, this one is an adult. The other person could be an infant, okay? So for infants, let's say, please just lie down. What we usually do, what you're supposed to do, we're supposed to place a padding that is almost in the same level of the head. So assuming that is the infant, just rise a little bit. So we actually put the back to be in the same level, because now for children you find that their heads are bigger. So ensure that the back is supported to be elevated slightly, so that even the head, when it is lying down, the spinal cord is in a straight line. So ensure that this padding that you put, it covers all across, so that it elevates the body of the kid, then now the head to be lower. But we usually say that if you are unable to do it, let us come in and assist the casualties. So call for help. Yes.
So Gillo, a number of times that we have these conversations with first aid, and we're told about fractures, we advise that look for wooden planks, and just have it on, let's say, the side. Can you use wooden planks on a spinal cord injury? How do you use that? And this comes in the whole bit of ukitaka kumbeba, kumtoa from this place to the ambulance. How do you do that?
We have specialist stretchers. We have spine boards. They could be in wooden or plastic. So those ones are the ones that we can be able to use to move this casualty from one side to another. If this person was trapped in a vehicle, we have a specialist tool that we call KED, that is Kendrick extrication device, that we put it on the casualty, on the back of the casualty, strap the casualty on the shoulders, across the body, and also on the legs. So that device, even if a person is seated, we can be able to strap it in their back and then now move this casualty carefully and then now place them on the spinal board.
Right.
We will transport them to a medical facility on the spinal board, being on there, and then this casualty now, the medical facilities will take over. So we usually say that avoid where necessary to move the casualty until we come to assist the casualty. Yes.
Right. As we have about 6 minutes to wrap it up, you can stand up as you...
casualty.
Probably now tell us the whole... Right now we're even moving from here to the ambulance and some bits that we need to know. So, someone watching us this morning. Some takeaways that after all this, some, few takeaways they really need to remember.
Okay. Now, probably this person, you may find that they may be having the spinal injuries or not. It's usually amazing to see how Kenyans usually lift a person. There are several ways that we can be able to use to carry the casualty. Probably now, since I have my colleague here, we would like to show them the several ways that we can be able to use. So kindly come here.
So, nitakuwa...
Yes. You will enjoy some rides, and then also we pia utabeba kidogo.
I'll have to warn you, I'm quite heavy.
Yes. It's fine. Okay. So I want you to turn this way, okay? Then me and my colleague will stand this way. So stand this way. So we have what we call the two-handed seat. The two-handed seat, this is how we usually do it. Give me your inner hand, so support it like this. Think Kenyans are able to see. Then we will lower our hands, then we cross. So you will support here on the belt, and then I will support here. Then I want you to sit and pass your arms across this way. So please let us turn, okay? Then this way safely we can be able to take the casualty and move them. Or the other method that we have is now what we call the four-handed sit, okay?
The mic as we continue.
Okay. So the four-handed seat, I want to use you as a first aider so that we're able to move our casualty. So this is how we will do it, the four-handed seat. I want you to support your hand. Okay.
All right, good.
So you hold your left hand over your right this way.
So my left
over right, okay? Yes, so let it, hold it firmly like this, okay? Just move your hand a little bit back, okay? There, and then now from here, I will come and interlock this way, and you hold my hand. No, the other side, yes, like that, okay? So this is now what we call the four-handed sit. So what we'll simply do, now we can be able to come down, and afterwards, our casualty can sit, okay? Now let's turn. So this way we can safely move the person and take them to a medical facility or the ambulance. Okay? So those are some of the tips that we can be able to move the casualty. Avoid holding the casualties one hand, one leg, the other person holds the other hand and leg, and then now you carry the casualty and move them away. If you're using a blanket, then roll the blanket, and then now you hold severally on the sides and now move the casualty to the medical facility, to the ambulance, or hata kama mulikuwa juu ya mlima, you can be able to safely come down with a casualty. Yes.
Your last words, because you've really given us some amazing nuggets, something that people have learned. Your last words, when it comes to first aid, what people need to learn briefly?
It's important to have your household learn first aid. We usually say that first aid saves lives. When you handle the casualty correctly, then this casualty has a chance to be able to survive. Our aims of first aid is to preserve the life of the casualty, to prevent the condition from worsening, and to promote recovery. You cannot be able to assist a person if you do not have the adequate training. Come to St. John. Come, we train you. We are supposed to be having what we call our walkathon.
Okay.
It is to be able to raise funds, to be able to assist the community, to be able to do sensitization. We've had training for border borders, households, the community. So we're having a walk on the 8th of this month to be able to raise funds and sensitize the community all about life-saving skills. So visit our organization. You can learn online. You can come to our offices so that we may be able to teach you the correct techniques. The simple tips that you can be able to, that you've learned online, please share also with your loved ones. Because if you do not handle this casualty well, they're having a problem with their airway, probably they're choking, they're having asthma, they have drowned. This casualty does not get assistance to breathe, you may be able to lose them. So first aid save lives. Come and learn from us. Right. Then we'll be able to teach you how to be able to save the ones that are in distress.
Right, fantastic. Definitely the viewers would like to know his name. Because he doesn't, he's not mic'd. You can probably, you can just introduce him though. Jilo could just introduce him.
It is good for him to be able to say his name.
My name's Joel. I am a qualified first aider. Let's learn first aid and save lives. Thank you.
Fantastic. So thank you very much, Anthony Jilo. He's an EMT first aid trainer at St. John Ambulance. I hope you've learned a lot. We always do this every single Monday from 9 to 10, just giving you some amazing first aid tips. In case you feel like there's something that we really need to discuss, talk to us. 22047 is our SMS number at TV47KE. You can always WhatsApp us 0793 267 279. I'm usually Stanley Nyeringita on behalf of the entire team right here who've made this production amazing all the way from 6 a.m. until now. Have yourself a marvelous Monday morning.